Good morning, Grace family. I am here having a morning cup of coffee with my friend Bob Wissmann. Bob has served as a lay elder at our church. He's involved in men's ministry, Stephen ministry, children's ministry, any ministry, you name it. Bob has had his hand in it or has his hand in it. And we are so blessed by him. And so we're just going to spend a few minutes catching up and seeing how things are going. But first, Bob, you recently retired. So how has retirement been for you?
Well, thank you, Amanda, for asking, and thanks for sharing a cup of coffee with me. I'm still learning. I'm really just in a process of adjustment. This is my second Tuesday, Business Tuesday, that I haven't been at work for the last 43 years, so that's a long time. And so I'm just making the adjustment to retirement and looking forward to what God has in store for both Karen and I and myself over the next several years.
Yeah, I know that we're definitely very excited for this new season for you and Karen to journey together and see what God has. So what has men's ministry been up to lately during our pandemic? I know there's men's breakfast. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think we were initially anxious, Amanda, because the fellows, as you know, have a tendency to not seek a lot of fellowship. Sometimes guys can just sort of withdraw into hobbies and other things of that sort. And so we really wanted to be an encouragement to fellows to not only maintain the existing fellowship, but build new relationships with fellows. So all of our men's groups are meeting on Zoom. That's right. And obviously they represent a variety of ages. So whether they're young or older, they're meeting on Zoom. And so that's an encouragement to me to know that the fellows want to stay connected. And so they're encouraging each other, holding each other accountable, being involved in Bible studies, being involved in life groups. And so that's a good thing. And then, as you know, on a monthly basis, we get together and have a monthly men's breakfast. And thank you for your support and help for that and trying to get that message out. And so we have upwards of 25 guys that jump on Zoom for that. And we've touched over the last couple of months on a couple of topics, including religious freedom, kingdom building. And this coming month, we're going to be talking about, of all things, you ready for this? Airplane safety. And as somebody who's been on an airplane a number of times since the pandemic starts, it's important to me. But we're really gifted that one of the fellows within our church, Tom Anyard, is sage, is a really wise man when it comes to these issues. So Tom's going to be sharing with the men of the church some issues about airplane safety and how he has provided leadership on that as a man of faith. And so we're all looking forward to hearing from Tom.
That's awesome. And that's coming up August 1st.
That's right.
Morning. So guys, if you have not been connected yet with the men's breakfast, that's a great place to jump in and get started and meet some more guys, even over Zoom. We have an event on our website that you could just click right into. And in the video description too, you'll have a click link that you can click into the event. So it's really easy to access and just jump right in.
And believe me, all the guys are friendly. Everybody has a good time. And believe it or not, Amanda, we usually ask an icebreaker question too. So we'll ask guys to share some insights into themselves, either what they did or what they like to do, et cetera. And that's a great way for us to get to know these guys.
That's so awesome. And I know we have such a wonderful group of men that gather together at Grace. And so it's really encouraging to hear that you guys are still continuing to meet and that it's such a good time together.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that and appreciate your support too.
Of course. Yeah. And you are also involved in Stephen ministry, which is such a huge resource and tool for our community. But I see it especially being needed in this season of life right now. So can you tell us, what is Stephen ministry? What is available to our congregation right now? We're isolated, but we still want to be together. So share with us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, we've been fortunate in the nearly 20 years that we've had Stephen ministry at our church. We've trained up, I think, over 50 Stephen ministers in that time period. So, and we have 20 Stephen ministers currently right now, both men and women serving. And so As I've often said, I count it a privilege to be involved in that ministry, but I also count it a privilege to come alongside Sharon Hamill, Don Bain, and Pastor Steve as we help to lead that group. And the time obviously has been a time of stress in a number of people's lives with the pandemic. This could be a relational, financial, physical, medical stress, and in some cases loss. And so we are encouraged by the fact that we're still able to provide ministry to these what we call our care receivers during this really difficult and challenging time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people are interested in getting connected or finding out more about Stephen Ministry, how do they do that?
Well, they can contact the church office. They can contact one of the church pastors if they prefer to talk to them confidentially. And also, there's a Stephen Ministry link on our website. And what happens is, if somebody has a need in that regard, they're interviewed confidentially by Sharon, and then Sharon will link them up with a Stephen minister. And one thing I do want to add, Amanda, you can imagine that in Stephen Ministry, when we provide what we call, distinctively Christian compassionate care, compassion and care, excuse me. One of the things that we enjoy is building relationships with our care receivers. And as you can imagine, during this time, that can be a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
But almost like as a time of preparation, all Stephen ministers have gone through a training in what we call telecare. Mm-hmm. Be learning how to care over the telephone, learning how to care through text messages, things of that sort. There are other elements of care, as you can imagine, encouragement and physical touch that we can't do on a personal basis. But there are other, if you will, elements of ministry that we can do effectively remotely to be coming alongside people in their season.
Yeah, absolutely. And from experience, Stephen Ministry has been such an incredible support and care ministry and source of encouragement for me. And I know so many others who have gone through. So thank you for being a part of that ministry. And for anyone watching that's interested in Stephen Ministry, there's also a link it's in our video description that will link you directly to the Stephen Ministry page on our website. So it can just take you straight there and you can get connected right away. And it is confidential, just as a reminder. It's safe, it's caring, it's loving, and it's a beautiful ministry that we run here. So thank you, Bob, for being part of it.
Sure. No, and we're fortunate. Again, we think of technology. Amanda, you and I communicating on Zoom, and we're able to connect all of us as Stephen ministers on Zoom and encourage and pray for each other.
Yeah, so beautiful. Technology is such a blessing in this season.
Mm-hmm. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, I'll let you run. And thank you so much for having a morning cup of coffee with me. Love that logo on there. Check that out, everyone. Vintage
legacy. That's right.
The legacy mug. So good. All right.
I love it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.